Howdy, folks. This is Amol Vaidya, also known as Big Edie. Today, we're going to be continuing the rare words project we've been working on for the last few days. If you're just joining us, the rare words project is we're creating an Emacs package that will allow you to highlight the rare words in an Emacs buffer. And the way we're approaching this is we initially went out and we found a list of rare words, and then we created a SQLite database with those words. And now we are working on the Elisp portion of our package where we actually place overlays in our buffer based on how rare a word is. So last time what we worked on was we worked on looking at our SQLite database and being able to communicate with it from Emacs. And we made quite a bit of progress there. We were actually able to get communication between Emacs and the SQLite database working. We did that with our rare words get word frequency function. And just to show that it does work, we can test it out here by rare words get word frequency, and we can throw in a word list. So let's say the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. And if we run that, we see how each word ranks. So brown would be 1,379 on our list. Dog would be 269. Fox does not make our list at all. That's why it kind of defaults to that 9,999,000 number. And that's sort of how it works. We let the user define what they want to define as a rare word, so anything below a certain threshold. And there's also the concept of semi-common words that the user can define. So anything below that threshold would be considered, or anything between the semi-common and rare threshold would be considered semi-common. Anything above the semi-common threshold would be common. Anything below the rare threshold would just be considered rare. So a couple of things we want to do before we continue is we were talking a little bit about, hey, Glenn, it's nice to see you. A couple of things we wanted to do last time was we were talking a little bit about optimization. So a few ways I thought we could work on the optimization of communication with the SQLite database was one, to put an index on the database. So in case you don't know, an index is basically a restructuring of the data around a certain field so that it makes searches incorporating that particular field much faster than they would be otherwise. So I was thinking about putting a index on both the temporary table that we're creating of all the words in our buffer, which we're using in our rare words get word, which will eventually pass to our rare words get word frequency function, and also to create a table in the dictionary that we have in our SQLite database. And I just wanted to, I did discover while we were like in the off day, I did discover this really cool method. I think it's called SQLite mode open file, which actually allows you to examine the SQLite database in a in sort of a graphical way. So it shows you, if you click on the database, it shows you what tables are available. We only have that one table in our database. We can click on that and kind of get a preview for that. So we can see the word a is actually the fifth most popular word in the English language. Ah, believe it or not, is a inflection of one of the words that was 220, and so on. We can kind of look through. Most of these are going to be rare words, right? Like a band. It's probably pretty rare to see that. A Bampier. I mean, I think this is really, like, this dictionary is pretty, it's got some words that are maybe nonsense. Like, I don't know if some of these are real words, but the concept of including this dictionary full of words, the reason we included this dictionary full of words was we didn't want to highlight just any old string, right? We only wanted to highlight rare words that were actual words. And so even though this gives us some that might be nonsense, it's also going to allow us to limit to real English words and not find just total nonsense gibberish words. So anyway, so the ideas we had were, yeah, we want to put indices on both the temp table and dictionary. we want to use transactions. So what transactions do is kind of allow our SQLite database to only do several insert statements all at once. So up here when we're creating this temporary table, thinking that if we do all of these insert statements all at once through using a single transaction, that might be a bit more efficient than using a single transaction per insert, which is what is the default method. And the other thing I was thinking about doing, so when we actually start making our overlays, the way I was thinking about doing this was we're going to go through our buffer or region or whatever portion of text we're looking at. We're going to go through it twice. The first time, what we're going to do is just get a list of words, all the words in that region, and we are going to send that to this rare words get word frequency function. It's going to spit back out a list of words along with their ranks, and then we're going to go through our text region a second time, and then based on what those words ranks are, we are going to create an overlay that matches what the rank is. And to kind of look it up the second time around, I think what I'll do is I'll create a hash table with all the words that are in the buffer or the text region alongside their rank, and that way it'd be really quick to just look them up. So that was the idea we're going to go with. So I guess let's start with making indices on both the temp table and the dictionary table. And I don't know how to do that off the top of my head. So let's just look at Qt browser. And we will look at how to make indices on a SQLite database. So SQLite database index. So the command is, I just want an example. So we're looking for how to create an index in a SQLite database here. Maybe this one. So create index name on table. So maybe it's as simple as that. So let's give it a try. We will go back to our Emacs buffer. We will say, let's pull up eShell. And we will say we're already in the SQLite database. So we will say create index word index. Let me just make sure I've got it right. It was create index name on table name, and then in parentheses column list. Okay. So on dictionary, I think it was word. Runtime error database is locked. Okay. So let's wait. Maybe it's locked because of this. Because we're already using it. Let's just try opening it back up. We'll say .open words.db, and we'll try again. We'll say create index word index on dictionary with word as the column that we want to create the index on. Still locked. Okay. Why is it locked? I would imagine it's something to do with it. We probably need to close it. Let's see. How do you close the connection to a database? Have that somewhere. Let's pull up the information manual. Nope, wrong Emacs. Something funky going on. EXWM line mode. Having some trouble with EXWM here, folks. Give me a second. Sorry for the Sorry for the technical difficulties here. Why is it saying that's undefined? Okay, hold on. Let me pull up my EXWM configuration here. And it's not even letting me do that. Weird. I think it is. Okay. I think it's going to work now. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so I think I need to close the database. So how do I do that? I think there's like a SQLite close. Okay. So let's figure out how to close this first. Oh, and it's in this let statement. I should really be careful about this. Okay. I don't have a way to access the can I come down here and do it? Let's see. I do SQLite close DB. Hey, welcome back, Glennet. So we're having some trouble. I forgot to close the database at the end of what I was doing. So that's the issue we're having here. We're not able to create the index because the database is locked. So I need to figure out how to close it, and I don't have a reference to the object I initially opened because it was local. So having some trouble here, but we'll figure it out. Let's see if it's closed now. Maybe it's still locked. Yeah, still locked. Okay. Whoops. I never ran it again. Okay. Just T. Why did it just return T? That's interesting. Oh, because my last statement is SQLite close DB. Right. Well, if it's closed, let's see. Let's see if it's actually closed. And still locked. Well, maybe maybe for the purpose of what we're doing, we just recreate the whole thing. I mean, we can recreate the words database, and this time we'll make sure not to accidentally lock it. So let's pull up Python. Rare words parse py. We will just Python send buffer, and hopefully that will recreate the whole thing. Let's see if it did. Back to eShell. Let's say is words.db. There it is. Let's open up SQLite 3, and we will try it now. No such table. Main.dictionary. Interesting. Let's look at that. There's dictionary. Why does it say? What does it say? Main.dictionary. I don't know. Okay, so how to create an index on SQLite database. It says create index name on table name, column 1, column 2, That should just work, right? Does it need a space here? I don't think that should make a difference. No such table, main.dictionary. Oh, because I've not opened words.db yet. There we go. Let's try it again. There we go. All right. More trouble than I thought that would be, but that's how these things go. So back to our rare-words.el. Oh. Okay, so we're making sure we close the database at the end of this now, but because we're doing that, that means that this doesn't actually return. So we'll just say this. We'll say let results be this. And we will say return results. Forgot a parentheses. Let's make sure it's still doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, so we do get what we expect now. And I do believe that that SQLite close DB statement should close it. So the other thing we want is create temporary table buff words. We want to put a prime index here, but I think we can just make this the primary key this way, which does basically the same thing effectively. And so I think now we've got indices on both tables, and this should be more efficient now. Okay, so now we want to actually start making a list of the words. Let's figure out how we want to do this. So we will say define rare words highlight, and we will first we'll remove any overlays that exist. What was the function? We called it kill overlays. Well, we call it kill highlights. And we will make it interactive because we do want this to be a user-facing function. Yeah, I think it does. I think it uses file level locking when the database is open in its default mode. I think there's like a wall mode that Christian sort of alluded to last time where that's not the case, but I'm not entirely familiar with exactly how SQLite works. There's actually, to be honest, this is my first time working with a SQLite database, so I'm not going to be the best source of truth there, but I'll look it up and let you know next time. I believe that is how it works, though. I was looking at the different modes that it has, but yeah, I just don't want to say anything too confidently because I'm not 100% confident on that. So we'll say, okay, so first thing I want to do is rare words kill highlights. Let's go ahead and evaluate this function so it's available to Emacs. And then let's say, we'll say we want, so we want to only highlight words in the region if the region is active. Otherwise, we want to choose the whole buffer. So I think what I'll do is I'll say highlight zone min, and we'll say if the region is active, then we will make this the beginning of the region. Otherwise, we will have the highlight zone min go to the beginning of the buffer with point min. We'll do the same thing with highlight zone max. Let's say if region active p, region end, otherwise point max. And I think that's good. And then let's say we'll make a let's make a different function to get all the words in the region. So we'll say defun rare words get words in region or buffer, and we will have a the minimum value and the max value there, and we will say word list is rare words get words in region or buffer, highlight zone min and highlight zone max as the minimum and maximum places we want to get words from. And so we go up here and we will say, let's just start with a word list, and we'll make it empty, and we'll add words to it. So let's go to the beginning of the region, and we'll say while the point is less than the maximum of our region. Let's say how do I want to get the word? So we're at the point, we're at minimum point. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, well, let's just say have another let here. Let's say current word is, we want it to be lowercase, so downcase, and we want to go, okay, so we want to use that research forward word, right? We want to say re search forward, and well, hold on. You know what? I'm gonna make another. I'm gonna make a get next word function just to kind of simplify the logic in my own mind. So let's say rare words get next word, and we will not go beyond the maximum point. So we'll put max in there, and we will say re search forward, and we'll use the, how does this work? Okay, so the regular expression we defined up here. So rare word search for regex. Sorry, move move this a little bit. rare words search forward regex, and we'll say is it simple as that? We'll say, okay, let's try this, and we'll say current word. But we don't want to go past we don't want to go past the maximum, right? So we will say re search forward, and we'll say the bound is max. And then we'll just return the current word, right? Will that work? Okay. Let's see. Let me find something with text here. Maybe we can just use this. Rare words search. No. Okay, let me make this interactive for the moment. Rare words search word. Oh, get next word. Get next word. Didn't do anything. Huh. Wonder why. Oh, because I don't have the max. Okay. Rare words get next word. And we'll say point x. Void variable, rare word search for regex. I misspelled that. Rare words. Okay, maybe I just haven't evaluated that yet. Let's try it again. Okay, good. Seems to be doing what we want. What about at the end of the sentence? Yeah, this looks nice. What about something like this, where we have positive, negative? I think it should still work, but I'm not entirely sure how current word works. Hey, thanks, Glennet. Positive, negative. Okay, so I don't want that. So even though my regular expression only pulls in the word positive, current word actually pulls in negative. So I wonder if current word is optimizable. What is strict? If optional arg strict is non-nil, return nil unless point is within or adjacent to a word. Otherwise, look for a word within points line. If there's no word anywhere on points line, the value is nil regardless of strict. By default, this function treats as a single word any sequence of characters that have either word or symbol syntax. Okay. If optional arg really word is non-nil, only characters of word syntax can constitute a word. Okay. So let's set true for really word and try again. So we'll say nil and p. And then let's go back to the help buffer. And what were we at before? Yeah, we were here. So let's try research forward again. Count. Cool. Yeah, this is doing what we want, I think. What if we get to the end of the buffer? How does that work? Whoops. Excuse me. Okay, so it throws an error. Search failed. Mhm. How do we handle the end of the buffer? I'm not sure why it's searching past the maximum though, because I thought when we pass it the max, it's not going to search beyond that bound. So I'm not sure. Not sure why it is. Let me look at the docs again. What does bound do? The optional second argument bound is a buffer position that bounds the search. The match found must not end. It must not end after that position. A value of nil means search to the end of the accessible portion of the buffer. So maybe what we want is nil there. A value of nil means search to the end of the accessible portion of the buffer. So what if we do nil instead of max? No, but we do want max because we don't want to search past the end of the region. And what is it actually? Okay, so what is this function returning? What does it actually return? Search forward, set point to the end, and return point. So it sets the point to the end and it returns point. This is a little annoying. What if we do... Is there a way like... What does Emacs consider an accessible portion of the buffer? Yeah, I don't... I'm not sure what exactly that means. Like, I'm not sure... let's look at Qt Browser and see if it can answer that question. Emacs, accessible portion of buffer. Let's do it without the quotes and see what we get. Oh, so it must be, okay. It must be referring to narrowing. So if it's narrowed, so I'm sure you're familiar with narrowing, but in case anyone's not, a buffer can be narrowed. Let's just read it. Narrowing means limiting the text addressable by Emacs's editing commands to a limited range of characters in a buffer. The text that remains addressable is called the accessible portion of the buffer. So that answers that question. So even so, it shouldn't be, I mean, that's like anything beyond that should not be accessible. So maybe we can only say if maybe equal point max. Oh, equal point and max. Then we return max. Otherwise, we return this. Maybe that'll work. Worth giving a shot, I think. Okay, let's try that again. Whoops. Let's try, okay. Back, forward. That still wants to keep going. Not sure what the best way to handle the end of the buffer is here. What is it? What is it? Okay, what does it return if nothing is found? Search forward from set point to the end of the occurrence. The optional second argument. The match found must not end after the position. A value of nil means searched to the end of the accessible portion of the buffer. So it should return a value of nil. Okay, so let's try that a little bit differently then. We'll say if that's not nil, then if that's true, then what if we did this or max? I wonder if this will help. No, that shouldn't do anything. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, we're making max. We can make it optional. Yeah, let's make it optional. That way it's a little bit easier for us to run while we're testing. And we'll just say or max, point max. That'll do. But sorry, this is tripping me up here. I'm not sure how to handle this issue with getting the end of the buffer, not having an error go past it. So if that's true, there has to be a way to there has to be a better way to do this. What is count? When count is positive, negative, the match found. That doesn't matter to me. Okay, no error. The optional third argument, no error, indicates how errors are handled when search fails. If it is nil or omitted, emit an error. If it is T, simply return nil and do nothing. If it is neither nil nor T, okay, let's use that. That sounds helpful. So we will make the last thing T. And so if this returns non-nil, then we will have current words. Current word. Otherwise, we'll have this whole thing return nil. Okay. I think that'll work. Let's try it again. Let's look at our help buffer that we've been working with so far. This should probably be good enough. Probably not the same help buffer, but that sounds like a conditional fail maybe. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Search failed. Okay. If, Why is it not returning the current word anymore? So if research for rare word search for regex or max point max P. Whoops, did I put the T? Yeah, I don't want that T here. I want it here. Just make that a little clearer. Okay. Let's try again. Let's going to the next word, but it's not returning the next word. Just confusing me. That's the condition if this is true, if it finds a word. And this is the condition if it's false. So why does it not return anything, right? Like, here, message format %s. We'll just have this whole thing as the message. Version back nil. Okay, I think it's doing what it's supposed to do. I'm not sure why it wasn't returning it, but okay, I think it's doing what it's supposed to do. So let's get rid of that message stuff. And let's go back to this rare words, get words in region or buffer. So let the current word be downcase of rare words, get next word. And, whoops. I mean, maybe we don't even need the let. We just say push downcase into the word list. And does that do what we want now? So let's look here. What is point here? 1394. So let's try rare words. Get words in region or buffer. We'll say 1394 and point max. Okay, what's the error? Wrong type argument. Char or string p nil. Okay. Something about the downcase it doesn't like. Oh. Must be hitting something that it doesn't like. What was the error message? It says it did not like oh. What is that? Oh god, what's the name of the buffer? What's the name of the buffer where backtrace? No, not backtrace either. All right, let's just try running it again. Go to the wrong type argument, char string p nil in the downcase. Downcase nil. So it's getting a nil. Okay, it's trying to okay. Push. Let's try this. When okay. Let word be rare word get next word And then we will say when word push word to word list. Okay. What about now? What is the point here? 1394 again. Try that again, and it is hanging. It's not doing anything. Why? Is it... Does it never get to the point max? Why does it hang? Let's say... Let's say, okay. Let's say... if word. Otherwise, we will... Okay, let's just say if we don't have a word, go to char max. Let's try that. And we'll try evaluating this again. Okay, we get nil now. Better than getting stuck in an infinite loop. So how do we fix this? Why are we getting nil? Maybe we're never getting a word. Okay, let's... So I think I'll try edebug and try stepping through this. I think it's like Control U, Control Meta X. Okay, yeah, now, so if you hit Control U, Control Meta X, the next time I run that function, it should allow me to step through what's going on. So let's do that. Okay, yeah, now I can step through by hitting space. Go to char min. It does it. So while less than point, the point is min, 1533 is max. Everything looks good. Okay, so it gets the word other. Gets the word relevant. So we're building our list. Where did it fail? Functions. Maybe it's somewhere like in the highlighted text, like maybe it doesn't like the markup or something. In the in document, yep. It's building the list as I expect. Get next word, buffer. It gets buffer. It pushes buffer. Okay, so it wasn't that. I wonder if it's the 19.29 then that trips it up. Let's keep going through it. Oh, I'm so stupid. I did not return the actual word list. That is why. Okay. Word list. Again. Okay, so we're running into another issue here. Void variable p. Go to char min p. Oh, typo. One more time. Compiled function. That's not very helpful. Void variable word list. Did I go too far out of the let? Yeah, I did. Cool. It looks like it's doing what it's supposed to do. We are building up our list of words. Let me just go out and grab something. You know what? I think this is good. Let me do it from here though. Word list. Yeah. Rare words get words in region or buffer. I think for now, let's just return the word list and say that's good enough for this purpose. Word list. And just see if it works with some actual text. Let's go to Qt browser and find some actual text. And we might as well go to the crafter ring and find a blog there. Where is the crafter ring? There we go. No, I want the actual website. Here we go. And let's look for Glennet. So we will do the first one. We will grab all of the text here. Let's grab everything. Long post. I have not seen this one yet. So let's create a new buffer. Call it. We will call it. Why not just call it minute? And oh, there it is. Okay. So let's look at what's the function we want to run? Rare words highlight. Nope. Rare words. Did I not evaluate the rare words highlight? Let's do rare words highlight. No, where is it? Why is it not there? Oh, I know. Because I did not make it interactive. Okay. Now we should see it when we try to run it. Rare words highlight. Invalid function. Rare words get words in region or buffer. Highlight zone min, highlight zone max. Why is that an invalid function? Rare words get words in region or buffer. Highlight zone min and highlight zone max. I don't understand. Oh. I got too many turns. One more time. Did it work? I would have expected it to return the words, so I don't think it did. At least it's not doing what I wanted to. Yeah, I don't think it's doing what I wanted to. Let's make this. Let's keep this as the messages buffer for now. Let's go back here and just do a few words. Let's try this rare words highlight. Still nothing. Why are we having issues here? Okay, we have highlight zone min. Let's do this. Let's instrument this one, and we will try running it again. Allows us to step through it. Region is active. The region was beginning there. That's the value of the highlight zone min. Again, that's the value of highlight zone max. 11. Okay, good. It gives me that. But it doesn't. Well, okay, no, there it does return that. Huh. But if I just run it like this, whoops, should exit. How do I quit this? Remove instrument there. Okay. So now it shouldn't go back to the debugger, but it's not returning word list. Like an edebug, it definitely seems like it's doing what it's supposed to, but down here when we're running it, I'm not sure why it's not returning that. Let's try this over here. Rare words highlight. It worked here. I think. Welcome the first word. Yep, it worked here. So maybe it is returning it, and for whatever reason, it's not going to the messages buffer. I thought it normally does when you return a value from a function, but I may just be mistaken about that. But okay, let's continue and pretend as though it is, right? So now that we have the word list, we can make a hash table out of it, I think. Now that we have the word list, let's first, I think first thing, let's go ahead and let's get rid of this for a second. So now that we have our word list, we can send that to this function where we get the word frequency. And so word frequency equals rare words get word frequency. And we will say word list. And we'll see what that comes back with. And I'm hoping that that works. Again, I'm going to just try to see if it'll actually print that out in a messages buffer, but given that it wasn't doing it earlier for the word list, I'm somewhat doubtful. Let's try it down here first. Unique constraint failed. buffwords.word. Okay, so something is wrong with our primary key. Oh, because I think I forgot to make primary key. Actually, why? That should work. Create temporary table, buff words, word text primary key. Doesn't like that for whatever reason. Let me see. Go back to the internet to see how to create a primary key. SQLite create primary key. Maybe we just create an index instead, the same way we did for the other thing. I created a table in SQLite by using the create table as, and then you can alter table. You can't modify SQLite tables in any significant way. Okay. So create table, field 2, integer primary key. So all you have to add is primary key. And so why does it not like that for me? Create temporary table buffers. Do we have to have, do I have to have the word values? No? Okay. I'm not going to worry about the primary key for now. So we'll just get rid of the primary key part and continue because I don't want to get too tied down in that. N-word list. Not a great typo there. Okay, cool. So it is working here. So I think we're making good progress. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So I think next thing we want to do is make a hash table. It's working. Even if it's not going to the messages buffer, it is working. So how would I do that? We'll say word frequency hash, and we will do map. Let's say, what is it? Make hash table. I think that's right. And I forget. I want the test to be equal because we're working with strings. And then let's go ahead and populate our hash table. So we will say map car word frequency. Word frequency. I don't need there. Map car word frequency. No, need the function first. So lambda. Is it put hash? The map car lambda x, and we'll put hash at the word frequency. Oh, sorry. The key is going to be the car of x. The value is going to be cotter of x, so it's going to be the leftmost value of each element, and then the that's going to be the car of x. The rank is going to be the cotter, and then word frequency hash is going to be the table we want to put it on. And I think that builds the hash table. Want that? We don't. Yeah, I think that builds the hash table. Just to test that theory, let's try it out on something. So after this, we will say message format %e, and we will say get hash on. Is it get hash? It's no hyphen. Get hash on. Let's say the word. Say rare. Just to test this out, we'll use the word rare. No, we'll say just say brown. We'll use that same sentence again. Say brown, and the table is going to be our word frequency hash. And we will do the evaluation of the function, and we will write out the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. One more time. We'll see if it actually returns the hash of brown. Okay, wrong number of arguments in map car. What did I do? Lambda x. Oh, I think I messed something up here. So that should end. Ah, I see. I did not put a word frequency here. Try again. Cool. I think that's right. If we look at brown over here, that's 1379. So cool. We've got a hash table now that has that's going to go through. So okay, like if we have a buffer at this stage, what we have is we can go through the entire buffer or a particular region in that buffer, and we have got a hash table that has the ranking of every word in that buffer. And now all that's left to do is to create the actual overlays. So I would like to do that today. I think let's continue and just go ahead and see if we can't get that done. Yeah, let's see if we can't get that done. Okay, so after we make this hash table, let's go back to go to char highlight zone min, and let's start going through the words one more time and making the overlays, right? So okay, so if we don't know what an overlay is basically a way to manipulate the appearance of text. There's sort of two things that manipulate the appearance of text. There's text properties, which are associated with the text itself, and then there are overlays, which are associated with the buffer, and they are associated generally with a particular, like you assign like a point beginning and a point end of the overlay, and then you can assign properties to that overlay. and those properties will sort of take precedence over whatever the text properties of the text in that region of the overlay is. And so that's sort of the general idea of an overlay. Overlays are kind of nice because you can put them in a list and manage them that way rather than trying to manipulate the text properties directly, which is a little bit harder to track, I think. So that's why I decided to use overlays. So let's go ahead and see if we can do the overlays right now. So we'll go to the char. We'll go to char min. We'll use the same logic as above. We'll go. We'll do this while point is less than max. Hey, thanks, Glenn. Yeah, I think we are making good progress. I think we can finish a lot of this today, and maybe submit to MELPA next time and make some last minute changes. Maybe if there's some efficiency stuff that we can do, or just maybe test some edge cases. But I think we can finish this now. I know I have a tendency of saying this shouldn't be too hard, but this shouldn't be too hard, I think. So while less than point max, let's go to we will say sort of what's the logic here? We will say let's copy this whole thing. So let word rare words get next word. Okay. So I don't really need, well, yeah, we do actually. So we'll say let word rare word get next word. We will say when get hash word frequency hash, and instead of when, we will say cond. Right, so if this is less than get hash word frequency hash, that's less than the rare words common word cutoff. Okay, and so in this case, we want to assign this as I think I need another string over here. We want to assign this as common if oh, what's the syntax for in between? Like like if I have something that's like I want to say less than common word, or sorry, greater than common words but less than rare words. Like I know there's a like syntax for that, but I can't remember what it is. Okay, let's look that up. Just do less than. Less than is a primitive number or marker, and rest number or markers. Return t. Oh. I wish it had a little bit more information of what the and rest number or markers is supposed to be. Return t if each arg is less than the next arg. Okay, so that's useful. So we will say less than rare words common word cutoff. Make sure I got this right. That's how it should be. Yeah. And then we want this as the next one, and then finally we want rare words cutoff, isn't it? Rare words semi-common word cutoff. Okay. Then we want semi-common and if it is greater than if this is greater than rare words semi-common word cutoff, then we will say this is rare. And finally, everything else can just be unknown. And sort of, this is sort of a silly way to do it. I think what I really need to do is say, let frequency be this. And all of these need to be freak. Oops. Okay, and so what we're going to do with this is we'll pass this whole thing to a function. We'll say rare words make rare word overlay. And we'll pass that. And we should already have wherever the match is. So we can use the match to we can use the match conditions to get the positions for the overlay. And so now we need to write this rare words make rare word overlay function. Let's see, how can we do rare words make rare word overlay? Well, here we'll say defun rare words make rare word overlay. Let's take in rarity. We'll say when the rarity is either rare or semi-common, then we'll create an overlay. And we use make overlay to make the overlay. It's not going to have any properties to begin with. It'll just create an overlay. It'll just create an overlay object. Hey, sure, Glenn. So we create this overlay, and after that, if the overlay is created, we will push it to our overlay list, which we called, what do we call it? Rare words overlay list, simple enough. Push, say current overlay to rare words overlay list. And then we can put a property on the overlay. We will say overlay put. The way to put a text property on an overlay is through this overlay put function. It takes the overlay name, and then we can pass it a face. So we will say if the rarity is semi-common, then we will add the rare words semi-common word face. Okay, yep. Word face. And if it is rare, then we will push the rare word face. And it shouldn't come in here any other way. So this should be good enough. And okay, I'm sure errors are made, but let's try. Rare words highlight. Nothing. Format specifier doesn't match argument type. Format specifier. I was thinking that we'd be done at this point, but where's the error? Okay, let's, I guess, go back to edebug, and we can step through the code. Let's go back to the Glennet buffer, and we will go ahead and run that rare words highlight function again, stepping through the code. So any highlights are killed. We do all this. We do that. That works. Oh no, I don't want to go through each and every one of them. Okay, how do I put a breakpoint here? Let's put a breakpoint here, and we'll hit G for go. So we should be there at this stage. Symbols value is void max. Okay, so that's the issue there. What is max? Oh, it's not supposed to be max. It's highlight zone max. Okay. Let's try it again. It did nothing. Nothing at all. Wrong type argument, number or marker P. Okay. Back to edebug. Okay, so go to there. Wrong type argument. So, oh, wait. Okay, so really I want a breakpoint here. Let's try running it one more time. Okay. Let's remove the we're trying to instrument this again so we can run through it. We'll just do a couple of words, rare words highlight, jump to the breakpoints I care about. Okay, so now we're looking at rare words, common word cutoff. Oh, what is going on? Why did that start acting funny? Okay, we can jump to the breakpoint. Oh, okay. It has no breakpoint. That's what's going on. So we'll put a breakpoint there and try again. Okay. I'm not so used to working with edebug, but we'll put a breakpoint there. Try it again. Oh, it's just not wanting to do that at all. Oops. Simply trying to run this freaking thing again, and I think work this time. Go to the next breakpoint. It just doesn't. Okay, so I don't know why it's not wanting to jump to the breakpoints I'm setting, but okay, we'll just go through it one line at a time because I'm kind of getting tired of trying to make the breakpoints work. If anyone knows what I'm doing wrong as far as edebug goes, let me know, but I feel like the breakpoints just aren't working. And I definitely don't want to go through that. So we'll break here, try hitting G. Okay, it did do that. So, okay, now we're where we have the error. We say word, the word is what? The word frequency hash gets you the hash table. And it's, if you get hash, the result is nil. Oh, okay. Why would the result be nil for the word what? I know why. I don't think it was downcased, right? Yeah, it wasn't downcased. So here's what we need to do. Let word, rare words get next word. Let's try this. When word set q word downcase word. I know it's not pretty, but let's see if it will make it work. Still the same thing. Okay, Remove instrumentation. Nope, nothing to remove from. Instrument again. Back to the article. And we'll do rare words highlight again. Set up a breakpoint at the bottom. Go to the breakpoint. And go to where we're hitting our issue. So now it is downcased. Still giving us nil. Why would it give us nil for word frequency hash? It never added what to. Yeah, maybe we just step through this one thing at a time and try it again. Of an 11. Wait, what? Aspects 11 and 99. Okay, no, it did what it was supposed to. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna have to debug this on my own time. I'm not gonna continue with it right now because we are at 1:30 and I need to get to bed. I think we're pretty close to having a working product, but there's clearly some bug in here that's just not working. So next time what I'll do is I will have this debugged for you guys so that this is actually working code. We'll go over whatever errors there were and let you know. I mean, I think probably it's a pretty simple fix, but we just have to find it. And once we do, we will start the process of submitting it to MELPA. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, Glenn. If anyone else was out here, thanks for hanging out. And I will be back probably tomorrow. So see you guys later.